In 1952, the world's most famous genius got a phone call. The person on the other end of the line was Israeli Prime Minister David Ben-Gurion. He was offering Albert Einstein the presidency of Israel. Why? Well, a few months earlier, Israel's first president, Chaim Weizmann, had died, and despite his many accomplishments, Ben-Gurion knew he wasn't the right man for the job. That's why he offered the position to Israel's second most famous person, Albert Einstein. Now, Einstein was a genius, but he wasn't exactly a politician. In fact, he didn't even know much about Israel. But that didn't matter to Ben-Gurion. He figured if anyone could help put Israel on the map, it was Einstein. So he called him up, explained the situation, and asked if he'd be interested in becoming the president. And Einstein's response was a masterpiece. He was deeply moved by the offer and thanked Ben-Gurion for his kind words. But he had to turn it down. Why? Because, as he said, he lacked the natural aptitude and experience for such a role. It would have been easy for Einstein to accept the offer and figure it out later. After all, how hard can running a country be, right? But Einstein knew his limitations. He understood that being president wasn't just a ceremonial role. It came with a lot of responsibility, and he knew he wasn't up to the task. So he politely declined the offer and stayed in his lab coat. Now, this might have been the end of the story, but it wasn't. You see, Ben-Gurion wasn't giving up. He kept calling Einstein, hoping he'd change his mind, but Einstein was firm. He didn't want to be president. This went on for months, with Ben-Gurion making a total of 11 phone calls. But Einstein was unmoved. He was happy to be a scientist, but he didn't want to be a politician. Eventually, Ben-Gurion got the hint and stopped calling. And that's when Einstein finally agreed to visit Israel. He met with Ben-Gurion and other top officials, and they offered him the presidency again. But he refused again, citing his lack of experience. But then something amazing happened. As he was leaving, Ben-Gurion grabbed his arm and said, "You don't need experience to be president. All we need is for you to show up at the ceremonies and be a figurehead." Einstein thought about this for a moment, and then he agreed. He served as Israel's president from 1961 until his death in 1955. During his time in office, he never once set foot in the country, but he did send a message to the Israeli people, a message of hope, a message of inspiration, a message that said, "I may not be able to govern your country, but I believe in your ability to do so. I may not be able to solve your problems, but I believe in your ability to do so." That's the real story of why Einstein refused the job offer. Do you think Einstein made the right decision? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching.